Good morning everyone. Today we will start our second chapter, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plant. Okay. In the previous chapter we have discussed about the reproduction. Okay. What do you mean by reproduction? It means that it will enhance the continuity of the species from one generation to another generation. And what do you mean by the term sexual reproduction? As we have already studied, sexual reproduction means involvement of the two parents resulting in the formation of a new organism. Okay, that is sexual reproduction. Now in this chapter we will see how the reproduction takes place in flowering plant. A brief knowledge everyone is having right now, okay, what is the reproduction is going on in the flowering plant. In this whole chapter we will see each and every process in detail, that how the things are formed and how the process is going on. Understood? Now first we will start this chapter with the topic flower. Flower, everyone is seeing the flower. The such a beautiful things in the environment is the flower. Okay, when you want to greet something, you give them flowers. When you offer the flowers to God, so flower is the most lovable, most attractive things in the environment. Okay, now this is the diagram of the flower. Okay, this is your have you seen the flower, a green stick like a structure. This green sticks like a structure by which you will pick the flower. That stick is known as stalk. What it is known as stalk. And of swollen things in which the whole flower is placed, the swollen things in which the whole flower is placed, that is known as what? Thalamus. Okay, this thalamus and the stalk collectively known as receptacle. Okay, means flower के जो सबसे नीचे में green सी पतली सी होती है, that is known as stalk. स्टॉक के ऊपर जस्ट एक swollen सा पार्ट होता है ग्रीन कलर का, उसे हम थैलेमस बोलते हैं. दिस थैलेमस एंड स्टॉक collectively known as receptacle. Over this your thalamus, a leaf-like structure is present. This greeny leaf-like structure is known as sepal. Okay, you know these things. We have already taught you in the last class also, in the lower classes also you have studied. The most attractive and colorful things by which the insects can attract, these attractive and colorful things, these are known as the petals. So these are petals. Your कलरफुल थिंग्स, रेड येलो ग्रीन में जितने जितने डिफरेंट डिफरेंट फ्लावर्स के डिफरेंट कलर्स होते हैं, तो दोज कलरफुल थिंग्स इज नोन एज पेटल्स. You all have seen the flower hibiscus. So this is a diagram of an hibiscus. Understood? So you see this part. This is known as your carpel. What is this? This is the carpel. This is the this swollen part. It is known as the ovary. This is the ovary. This filament like structure, this is known as style, and this structure is known as stigma. Stigma, style, ovary, these three collectively known as your carpel. What? Carpel. Carpel is a female reproductive organ. Okay, in the carpel, stigma, style and ovary is present, which represent the female reproductive organ. See, you see this type of structure. These are what? These are your stamen. This whole part is known as stamen. The uppermost part is anther, and this filament like structure. You see this filament like structure. This filament like structure is your filament. Okay, this is filament. The upper part is anther. Anther and filament collectively known as stamen. And stamen represent the male reproductive part. Okay, means in this flower both male and female reproductive part is present in the same flower. That means this flower is a bisexual flower. Okay, I have already taught you what is bisexual, what is unisexual. When both the male and female are present in the same flower, that is bisexual, and when either of them are present, they are unisexual. Okay, but is this hibiscus is a bisexual flower क्योंकि हमारे पास female reproductive organ भी है as a carpel और मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन भी है स्टेमेंस. नाउ वी विल सी द ईच एंड एवरी स्ट्रक्चर इन डिटेल. व्हाट आर स्टेमेंस? वी सी द डिटेल अबाउट द anther and filament. In the female reproductive organ, we will see the structure in detail. So just a brief idea कि what are the structures are present. Now, reproductive structures of angiosperms, all the sexually reproducing flowers. All the sexually reproducing flowers is known as angiosperm. Okay. So, let's talk about the sexual reproduction of flowering plant. In the sexual reproduction of the flowering plant, we will talk about three things: pre-fertilization, we will talk about double fertilization, we will talk about the post-fertilization. Okay. Now, these are the events which takes place in the sexual reproduction of flowering plant. Pre-fertilization means just before the fusion of the gametes. Double fertilization, here two times of fertilization takes place. After that, whatever the changes takes place after fertilization, that is known as post-fertilization. Now, let's come to our first topic, pre-fertilization. In this topic, we will see the structures and events taking place in pre-fertilization. We will study about the pollen grain formation, how the pollen grain is formed. We will also study about embryo sac formation, then pollination, then pollen pistil interaction. These four things, these four events are taking place in your pre-fertilization. Understood? Now, in today's class, we will only study about the pollen grain formation, how the pollen grain is formed. Okay? So, let's start with the pollen grain formation. In the formation of the pollen grain, before going detail in the pollen grain formation, you must know what do you mean by stamen, what is microsporangium, and then the development of the pollen grain. So first we will discuss about the stamen, then we will discuss about microsporogenesis, and after that the formation of the pollen grains takes place. So let's start with the stamen. I will rub this part and we will start with our first pre-fertilization events, that is pollen grain formation, and within the pollen grain formation we will see stamens. Okay, so our first topic is pollen grain formation. Okay, under this, first we will study about the stamen. Okay, already you know stamen is what? It is a male reproductive part. Stamen is a male reproductive part. The diagram of your stamen is like this. Okay, this is the diagram of your stamen. This is your anther and this is your filament. Okay, anther. The anther is what? It stores the pollen grains. Okay, anther is a bilobed structure. ठीक है, anther क्या होता है? Bilobed structure होते हैं. Means this anther containing two lobes. This is one lobe. This is another lobe. Okay, so anther is a bilobed structure. First thing. Secondly, each lobe has containing two theca. That is, and that's why anther is known as dithecous anther. Why it is known as dithecous anther? Because each lobe containing two theca, like this. Okay, so that's why it is also known as dithecous anther. Okay, and within this dithecous anther, your microsporangium is there. So 4 microsporangium is there, 2 at one lobe. Okay, 4 microsporangium रहते हैं. एक anther है, bilobed structure. हर एक लोब में तुम्हारे 2 थीका हैं, इसलिए we are saying dithecous anther. Within this dithecous anther or within this anther, 4 microsporangia are produced. 4 means 2 at each lobe. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are what? Microsporangium. It is your microsporangium, which on further development they becomes the pollen sac, and within this microsporangium various pollen grains are there. So this is the structure of anther. If we cut this part, okay, if we cut this section, transverse section, and if we will see the transverse section of the anther somewhat look like this. Okay, this is a structure of an anther. 4 corners, and each corner one microsporangium is present. That means 2 microsporangium is present at the one lobe. Okay, now These are the microsporangium. Let's discuss about the structure of the microsporangium. These you understood एंथर क्या है, मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट है, ठीक है. अब हम इसका ट्रांसवर्स सेक्शन लिए, ये एंथर का ट्रांसवर्स सेक्शन है. दिस इज व्हाट, अ ट्रांसवर्स सेक्शन ऑफ एंथर. In the transverse section, what we have got? We have got the microsporangium which are present at the corners of the lobe. Okay. Now, each microsporangium is surrounded by the many layers. Okay. And these layers, the cell of these layers are made up of archisporangium cell. Archisporangium cell. Okay. The layers means the microsporangium that are surrounded by these layers are made up of archisporangium cells, and these archisporangium cells are of two types. First is primary parietal cell, and second one is your primary sporogenous cell. Okay, primary sporogenous cell. These primary sporogenous cell on further division, okay, when primary sporogenous cells divide hoga, they will form the pollen mother cell, or we say microspore mother cell. Okay, means their layers gets divide and form the microspore mother cells, and these primary parietal cells, their function is to help the development of the wall of anther. Okay, these are the walls of the anther, so these primary parietal cells helps in the development of the wall of the anther, and primary sporogenous cells on division they will form the microspore mother cells, and these microspore mother cells will resulting in the formation of microspores. Okay, so you keep it here that this is microspore mother cell. Okay, this is the microspore mother cells. Now we will discuss about the one of the sporangia, microsporangia. This microsporangia, it is surrounded by the one layer that is known as epithelium. The outermost layer is known as epithelium. Understood? This is the second most layer that is known as endothelium. Endothelium. Then it is surrounded by a third layer that is known as middle layer. Okay, middle layer. And the fourth layer is this. This is known as your tapetum. And within this, sporogenous tissue is produced. Okay, within this sporogenous tissue is there. Sporogenous connective tissue, and within the tapetum various microspore are there. Okay, so this is the structure of microsporangia. We will see microsporangia. See, we will take one microsporangia. 4 microsporangia होते हैं, एक microsporangia की बात कर रहे हैं अभी. This is the structure of the one microsporangia. Outer layer is known as epidermis. Understood? This layer is known as endothelium, and this one is known as middle layer. This one is known as tapetum, and within the tapetum, sporogenous connective tissue is present. Sporogenous connective tissue and various microspores are present. Okay, various microspores. So this is a diagram of your microsporangium. Now we will see the second things. First, now this is all about the stamen. In the stamen, microsporangium is present. We have seen the structure of the microsporangium. Now we will study the second thing, that is microsporogenesis. What is microsporogenesis? Okay, I have taught you in the last class that genesis means the formation. So microsporogenesis means the process of the, listen very carefully, the process of the formation and differentiation of microspores. Microspores is what? Which are present within the tapetum. So the formation and differentiation of microspores from the microspore mother cell by reductional division is called microsporangia. So what is microsporangia? process of formation and differentiation of microspore from the microspore mother cell by the reductional division is known as microsporogenesis. The cells of the sporogenous tissue, okay, whatever the cells of the microsporogenous tissue they are present, they undergo the meiotic divisions and they forms the pollen microspore tetrad. Okay, this microspore tetrad, they separate and they dissociate into the pollen grains, and thus there is a development and formation of the pollen grains. See, we have seen the microsporogenesis means formation of the microspore from the microspore mother cell. So this is your this is your innermost layer tapetum. Within these various microspores are present. Means these are what? These are the microspore mother cells. These are what? Microspores mother cells. इनका mitotic division होता है. And by the mitotic division, sorry, इनका meiotic division होता है. ये reductional division था. इनका meiotic division होता है. And this, after the meiotic division, this pollen mother cell or your microspore mother cells will form the microspore tetrad. This is what? By their meiotic division, they will form the microspore tetrad. ये form किया microspore tetrad. These are the microspore mother cells because we have these things are what? Which are inside this. ये सब microspore mother cells के अंदर ही तो था. हमने इनको बाहर निकाला एक माइक्रोस्पोरेंजियम को. इनके अंदर माइक्रोस्पोर्स थे. अब इनका जब हम meiotic division या reductional division करते हैं तो we will form the microspore tetrad. As the anther mature, this microspore tetrad on further division resulting in the dissociation or separation, resulting in the separation or dissociation of these pollen grains. Okay, these microspores which resulting in the formation of pollen grains. जब तक ये टेट्राड में थे, they are known as microspores. As the anther mature, they separated, they get dissociated and forms the pollen grain. And these pollen grains are nothing but pollen grains are what, students? Pollen grains, I have already taught you. These are the male gametes. Pollen grains are the male gametes or male gametophyte. Okay, so in this way the pollen grain formation takes place. Now what study about the what is basically the pollen grain is. Okay, very small topic. What is the pollen grain? Understood how the pollen grain is formed? From the anther microsporangium is produced. Microsporangium is here. From the microsporangium, microspore mother cell resulting in the formation of microspore. These microspore are nothing but as they get matured, they dissociate and forms the pollen grain. Now let's study about the pollen grain. These are the first thing, these are the male gametes, and this pollen grain are made up of two layers. One is your exine, outermost layer. Innermost layer is your intine. Okay, exine is the tough and solid layer. Okay, it is made up of a sporopollenin. Okay, we will discuss tough and solid, and intine is a thick, thin and continuous layer. Okay, and these are made up of pectin. Okay, so जो exine होते हैं आपके, exine is made up of sporopollenin. जो sporopollenin होता है वो बहुत ही resistant organic matter होता है. Okay, it can, this sporopollenin can resist the high temperature, high humidity, high pressure. Even no enzymes can degrade the sporopollenins. ठीक है, तो exine का जो characteristics है वो यही है कि this is a made up of sporopollenin. It is thick and the smooth layer. Whereas intine, it is a thin and continuous layer made up of pectin and cellulose. Intine जो होता है वो पेंटिन और पेक्टिन और सेलुलोज के बने हुए होते हैं. तो जो साइटोप्लाज्म होते हैं pollen grain की, they are surrounded by the plasma membrane. Now let's study about the cells of the pollen grain. Cells of pollen grain. Cells of pollen grain. So we have seen the two different cells. One is the vegetative cell and another one is the generative cell. Okay, one is the vegetative cell, another one is the generative cell. The vegetative cell, this is the vegetative cells and this is your generative cells. Okay, these are the two pollen grains in which two irregular shaped cells, one bigger is known as vegetative cell, smaller one is known as generative cells. तो जो आपके vegetative cells होते हैं, as it looks bigger, so vegetative cell is bigger in size, abundant food reserve is present, large irregular nucleus, इनकी जो nucleus होती है वो large होती है और irregular shape की होती है. Okay, so it is responsible for the development of pollen grain. तो जो vegetative cells होते हैं उनके क्या क्या function हुए? These are the large cells. They have abundant food reserve. Okay, abundant food reserve. They have large irregular nucleus. Okay, and they are responsible for the development of the pollen grains. Whereas generative cells, see, the generative cells as compared to vegetative cells, they are smaller. Okay, but these are involved in syngamy. Generative cell का characteristic feature क्या है कि ये involved होते हैं syngamy में. Syngamy means fusion of male and female gametes, and they also have dense cytoplasm and having the nucleus. So this is the cells of the pollen grain, vegetative cells and the generative cells, whereas vegetative cell is very large, having irregular nucleus and responsible for the development of pollen grains, whereas generative cells is small and helps involved in the syngamy. Now our last topic is pollen viability. Okay, pollen कब तक viable रहती है? What is pollen viability? So pollen viability is the period when pollen grain is functional. Okay, pollen viability क्या है? It is the period. Pollen viability is a period when pollen grain is functional, and one pollen grain is functional up to only 30 minutes. एक pollen grain की viability क्या होती है? Only and only 30 minutes होती है. ठीक है? So this is pollen viability. हाँ, yes, temperature, humidity may affect the pollen your viability. Understood? It depends upon the temperature and your humidity. But इस एक one pollen grain की जो viability होती है, जो period होती है जिसमें वो functional रहता है, that is your 30 minute. Okay? Or you have heard the name pollen bank. This pollen bank is nothing but here the pollen grains of the large number of the species are stored in liquid nitrogen. Okay, that is known as pollen bank. हम बहुत सारे pollen grain different species के pollen bank pollen grains को एक liquid nitrogen में store करके रखते हैं. That is known as your pollen bank. लिक्विड नाइट्रोजन में अगर आप लोग पॉलन ग्रेन को स्टोर करके रखते हो एट टेम्परेचर 196 डिग्री सेल्सियस, इट इज नोन एज पॉलन बैंक. जिस तरह ब्लड बैंक होता है ना, उसी तरह पॉलन बैंक भी होता है. यहाँ पे हम डिफरेंट स्पीसीज ऑफ द प्लांट के पॉलन ग्रेन्स को स्टोर करके रखते हैं फॉर ए लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सो दिस इज द पॉलन वियाबिलिटी. सो इन दिस वे वी हैव कंप्लीटेड द फर्स्ट इवेंट ऑफ द प्री फर्टिलाइजेशन. क्या था हमारा फर्स्ट इवेंट में? हमने पढ़ा था कि इस इवेंट में स्टेमेंस होते हैं, पॉलन ग्रेन मतलब पॉलन ग्रेन फॉर्मेशन हुआ. दिस ऑल इवेंट्स किसकी वजह से हो रहा है? यहाँ पे पॉलन ग्रेन की फॉर्मेशन हुई. उसके अंदर वी हैव स्टडीड स्टेमेंस, माइक्रोस्पोंजियम एंड पॉलन ग्रेन. ओके, in the next class we will study about the embryo sac formation and how the embryo sac is formed. Okay, so till then you go through all these lectures. If any doubt, please let me know. Thank you.